which is a line for Hamilton on his career. And you guys have had like Obama, Biden, Dick Cheney, the Clintons, all of these political figures have come to see this show. So how do you kind of relate what we've learned or what we haven't learned with like what we're seeing on stage and from the politicians that are going backstage after, and it's like we're still going through some of this stuff. I mean, look at this cast that is representing America. But we're still existing in a rhetoric of, don't let these people in, immigration is bad, we have to have our borders, things like that. Like, so how has it felt to kind of toe the line that, we should learn from the past, move forward in the future?
I think the biggest takeaway from Hamilton is a pretty apolitical one, but gives me hope, which is that we've been fighting about the same stuff for 200 years. Whether it's immigration, whether it's foreign policy, whether it's when are we a state, when are we a country, that's in the fabric of the compromises that led to the formation of our country. And you have to think of it that way. You can't think of it as these stone tablets that came down from on high. It was a bunch of different colonies trying to figure out how they could live together. And there's cracks in that foundation, and we're always gonna be figuring out how to mend those cracks. So I actually take great hope in that. The fun is, in researching this, sort of learning how much we've been fighting about the same thing. So whether it's Jefferson or Hammer Time talking about, whether to get involved with France and the sort of state of perpetual revolution they found themselves in at the end of the 18th century. Or, I don't think it's lost on anyone that, we lose a lot of characters in our show to gun violence, and that isn't going away anytime soon. So, unless someone acts up and does something. It weirdly gives me hope, because it means, we're not going to hell in a handbasket. We started fighting about these things, and we make strides forward and we make strides sideways, but we're still talking and we're still making the thing.
Well, how has it been to have Obama, obviously a big fan, Biden, all these people come backstage? What have they said?
Well, Ryan Coogler just actually came to see our show. He directed Creed, that Rocky.
Miguel Station.
And one of my favorite quotes, I read a bunch of interviews by him, and one of my favorite quotes of his is that the power of art, the power really of what we do, is that it can change people's minds. So without, I don't think that Lin set out to tell you what to think with writing this show, but it does change, it has the power to change your mind about some things, and that's a really powerful thing, because if it can change your mind, it can change your actions, because you think, hopefully, before you act. And so to the power to change people's minds is a responsibility that we have. So it did not, we didn't take it lightly that we had the chance to say something to the President of the United States while he was in our midst that could possibly linger in his thoughts as he was governing in the next couple weeks. And it did, That's how the Vice President came to see us just a couple weeks later. He said, I have a lunch with the man every week, and he wouldn't stop talking about your show, so I came. That's just it's a remarkable thing.
It really is.